Okay, so as all of us know, last year wasn't the best year for animes, with everything getting delayed due to the pandemic. Compared to 2019, 2020 was definitely weak, and I'm very glad that in 2021 everything is picking itself back up. But I don't think it's fair to basically take a dump on everything that last year offered us. Just because you don't have 3 to 4 shows in a single season with a higher rating than 8 on MAL doesn't mean that studios weren't trying their absolute best. Tower of God and Somali and the Fire Spirit are the most obvious examples of this. So let's rewind the clock back to January. Here I was introduced to one of the most unique animes that no other show will probably reach the heights of anytime soon. Allow me to introduce you to Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. The series revolves around the Japanese urban legend Hanako of the Toilet, the ghost of a young girl who haunts school bathrooms. And if that sounds weird, then be prepared because Hanako in this series is actually a boy. Okay, I swear it gets good, just give me a second. The series is set in Kanome Academy, which has its own version of Hanako. Basically, if a person goes to the girls' bathroom on the third floor and knocks 3 times on the third stall and is able to summon Hanako, then he will grant that person's wish. And this is exactly what our female lead Yashiro Nene does and succeeds. Now, of course, Yashiro has a wish, which is why she summoned Hanako in the first place. But that part isn't entirely important, and I feel like if I start breaking that part down, then I'll just explain the first episode to you guys. So, long story short, after struggling with getting her wish granted, Yashiro makes a very fatal mistake and gets cursed, which drags her deep into the world of Kanome Academy Supernaturals. It is one of the most interesting takes I have seen in a while in a medium that very heavily relies on Truck-chan that might give you unlimited resource of water, or turn you into a slime with water skills, or just leaves your brain behind. But the great difference between TBHK and Truck-chan is that TBHK is not an isekai. You're not getting into some random portal where you have to fight the demon lord. The proper way to say it will be that this is a character-driven story. All of the supernaturals introduced and all of the humans that are introduced in this story have a very important role to play in the whole world building. It is extremely surprising that with such low variety of cast, the story always manages to grab your attention with every new arc. The world building should probably be a whole lot tougher in this aspect because the only area then available to the creators is basically a school. And this is also where I think the series excels because it very steadily reveals the information of the supernaturals and how they have different boundaries and how both the human and the world of supernatural is connected in different ways. Every new arc turns me into a theorist. I try to work my way to figure out what would happen, and spoiler, I haven't succeeded once. Alright, so I'm not a music critic, and TBHK has some very surface level music for the kind of setting it takes place in. But this soundtrack is used so well in these different events that brings out the best of these moments. Most studios stopped creating music to be set as character themes and location themes around the early 2010s, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I'm the kind of guy who appreciates a good tone surrounding a memorable place, for example like done in Bleach and the Monogatari series. And I'm so glad that this decision was taken with TBHK. The opening and the ending songs are already great, and I will leave their names up on the screen so you can listen to them separately. But right now, I'm gonna play my favorite track from this album. I'll see you guys in the next section of the video. It's amazing. I mean, just look at this. I can seriously look up the artwork on Google Images and do nothing but that for 2 hours straight. That's how good this series looks. I personally love this kind of design because as the story progresses, the art increases the level of attachment. This childish and vibrant world, which is filled with such mature themes, makes up such an interesting world where anything would go wrong. I honestly wouldn't be as attached to Hanako if it wasn't for this specific design choice that the creator had chosen. And while creating this joyful and vibrant world, like I said, that how the series takes some serious turns and deals with the themes of pain, loss, and depression. It really shows how well balanced it is between these two sides. The fun parts are extremely fun, but the serious moments hit in a way you might not have thought of. And overall, the art choice makes this series a lot more impactful.
花子さん、花子さん。今日はもう帰らせてください。ダメ。
Okay, so I didn't include this section in my previous video, but I want to touch on the voice acting slightly right now. And again, I have no complaints. The voice actors did such an amazing job to bring these characters to life. When I listen to Hanako or Yashiro or Ko, then it really feels like I'm watching a bunch of kids just goofing around. My personal favorite is the voice actor of Tsuchigo Mori, Suda Kenjiro. I mean, just listen to this bit and you'll understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Berserk, Naruto, Bleach, Attack on Titan, or Tokyo Ghoul. And creators knew that this is the kind of writing and style that appeals to the audience who want to get in the medium. Like honestly, there's only one other series that I can think of which relies on characters like in TBHK. I don't want to get into too much detail because it will spoil a huge chunk of the manga. But let's just plainly say that every supernatural in TBHK revolves around a different theme and background. The backstories are emotional, well thought, and just straight up heart wrenching. The narrative is told through Yashiro's perspective all the time, and I think is the perfect choice since we are just as unsure as her about how the tiny world of Kanome Academy is affected through the existence of supernaturals. Characters have their own motives, and I love the fact that their actions speak more than their words. I mean, stories where two characters talk for the most of the time, like it's the confident system of Persona 5, isn't a bad thing, but to get it right is really tough, and we all have seen it fail many times. I think Aida Iro understood this lack of consistency from the previous failed attempts and used the right method which should be used in the comics, which is show, not tell. The design, writing, and actions make or break a character, and TBHK is a great example of how it's done right. By the time this video comes out, I think about 76 chapters will be out. So if this video got you interested in the series in any way, then might as well look for some moon rocks. This joke was really fucking dumb. I will see you guys next time. Bye.